back to How to Doom. This is the third episode of my series of video tutorials for Dr. Doom in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. My name is Tango, and in today's episode we're going to discuss Dr. Doom's role on a team and who his best partners are. As the best support in the game, there's a lot to discuss, so let's get started. So what makes Doom so good? What makes him the best support in the game? Well, a lot of it comes down to his assists. So Doom has 3 top 10 assists in the game. He has Hidden Missiles, he also has Plasma Beam, and he has Molecular Shield. So all 3 have unique use cases, all 3 have strengths. For example, Molecular Shield, which is probably the least powerful of the 3, as you can see, is extremely strong for characters like Magneto, who can use it to dash in behind and cover their approaches. It's also incredibly strong as a get off me assist. It's probably his best assist for that purpose. Additionally, Plasma Beam has some unique utility because, for example, it spawns well behind the point. This renders it fairly safe compared to Hidden Missiles, which are incredibly easy to call out, counter call, and punish. That said, I think Hidden Missiles is the best assist in the game, and it's definitely therefore Doom's best assist, for a couple of reasons. I feel like Hidden Missiles interacts with the top tier in such a way that it elevates them, some of them from like S to S+, and it makes some strategies just almost foolproof. The set play, for example, with Zero and Missiles is incredible, and it's, of course, the enabling strategy behind the Doom Bullet Hell is Missiles locking off Super Jump Height. So the way that Missiles interacts with the top tier, in my opinion, makes it the best assist in the game, and kind of defines a top tier character is being able to take advantage of missiles to that extent. What I find is kind of a trend in this game is that the top tier prefers missiles, the mid tier prefers beam, and Rox is kind of the redheaded stepchild of the 3 assists. Not because it's weak by any means, but because it's sharing real estate with the other 2. There are other considerations beyond just how good the assist is to consider when picking an assist with Doom. So if you already have a lateral assist, for example, Doom's Plasma Beam may be rendered a bit redundant. Let's say you have something like Arthur Daggers or Disruptor assist. In cases like that, you may opt towards missiles. Let's say you have a team that uses Team Hyper Combo. Well, normally, using A or B assist, Doom's Team Hyper Combo is Photon Array. Photon Array is incredibly powerful for this purpose. It's what enables Doom's Follow My Lead strategy, because of its short duration and relatively high damage. Additionally, Photon Array is what enables Doom to do some crazy corner combos on Anchor that can net you kills if you know how to do them. And then you can do another super there. You can go into assist extensions, you can do whatever you want. So it's incredibly powerful as a tool for Doom, and he just doesn't have that if he picks Rock's assist, because his Team Hyper becomes Sphere Flame. Sphere Flame also has the property of sending the opponent often flying off to Super Jump Height, causing whatever other super you have on second to miss. So, for example, if you use it for Follow My Lead shenanigans, if the opponent gets hit by Sphere Flame, they'll go flying off to Super Jump Height, and then your Dante or Rocket or whoever super just whips. So sometimes they even get a punish, and additionally sometimes they'll even get a happy birthday off of that. So it makes that strategy in particular much less powerful. I think the most iconic team to frequently run Rox was F-Champ's Magdoom Phoenix, and a big part of the reason that he was enabled to run that strategy is that that team doesn't use Team Hyper Combo Follow My Lead shenanigans almost at all. So as a result, he was really able to use Rox to its full potential as a defensive assist that really complemented his style as a player. So keep that in mind. There is one other sort of hidden, forbidden piece of tech to keep in mind with Doom's assists, which is that his plasma beam assist, or excuse me, his hidden missiles assist is special cancelable. So if you have Doom on Anchor, for example, or Second, and then you alpha counter him in with missiles. Missiles right now, rocks with missiles. You can do some shenanigans like this. Cancel it into plasma beam. You can also, so that keeps you relatively safe. If you catch the opponent slipping, thinking that they have a hidden missiles to punish, you can also do something like this. Fly away. Incredibly powerful tool, and it's cancelable into all of his specials, so neither of his other crossover counters have this property, and weirdly, though hidden missiles is the most punishable of his 3 assists, I feel that this property makes it the safest on crossover counter. So keep that in mind. If you ever do have Doom missiles, you can use this as a way to get your point character out for just 1 meter and often catch the opponent slipping with just like a plasma beam or something. Incredibly strong tool. Okay, so Doom has 3 of the best assists in the game. That's why he's the best support, right? Well, honestly, even if that was all that he offered, he might be. But it's not. He also has the best hard tag game in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and there are a variety of characters who can take full advantage. So for example, Thor here can tag Doom off almost any hit, and then Doom with proper team support on Second can turn that into a kill. That was just 1.1 off a random hit. Incredibly potent tool, but it's especially powerful when combined with grabs. So almost any grab that causes a hard knockdown can be converted into a Doom hard tag. And there are a variety of ways that this manifests, but the reason that this is so important is that grabs incur a major damage penalty on the character that lands the grab. So Thor normally hits like a truck, right? That combo did almost no damage compared to this, which is roughly the same combo. About 50%. That's because grabs incur a 50% damage penalty. However, this damage penalty can be bypassed with a hard tag. And then Doom can do a full, unscaled combo, often building a ton of meter and netting a kill. So there you go, that's a million off grab. That was a million off grab without using my second assist. It can probably be pushed to 1.1, and you build the meter there, that's 1.2. So that's an incredibly strong tool. Any team that can kill Hulk off a grab is a really potent team. Doom is what enables that. Doom, thus, is one of the best damage engines in the game. And a lot of that just comes down to his raw tag game. Alright, so Doom has 3 top 10 assists, 2 top 4 assists, and the best hard tags in the game. So that's why he's the best support, right? Well, Doom also has the best TACs in the entire game, with incredibly simple and intuitive starters, and probably the widest variety of routes of any character. This is my particular preferred route for TAC. I find it very easy and relatively easy to hit when I'm not also talking. So it works all the way across the screen. It also works in the corner. Whoops, I went for the wrong version there. But so in the corner, I might look something like this. one more shot. And then if I don't hit it, I'll have to cut a new clip. So, there you go. TAC Infinite done quick, cheap, and easy. Doom has it all. So Doom has, just to review, 3 top 10 assists, 2 top 4 assists, the best hard tags, and the best TACs in the entire game. And once you come to understand that suite, you start to understand why Doom is the most picked character, why he's the best support, and just what he can do for your team. So let's start to explore who some of the characters are who like to have Doom on second or third, and why you might choose one or the other, and what sort of strengths you're leaning into in each case. Alright, so I've convinced you. You want to play Doom, you need this support in your life, you need someone who supports you as much as Victor Vaughn. Understandable, best choice I ever made. So where does he go on my team? Well, that kind of depends. So here we have 2 of the most popular and most powerful teams in the game. Magneto Doom Virgil on the one hand, and Magneto Dorm Doom on the other. These 2 teams, I think, illustrate the difference in team building philosophy between the 2 most popular varieties of team in the meta. So on the left side, on the player 1 side, you have Mag Doom Virgil. You have Magneto with a really strong assist and a backup plan, Anchor. On the player 2 side, you have Mag Dorm Doom. You have Magneto with a damage engine and snowball set play character on second, and then a strong assist. So the Mag Dorm Doom team is much more front-loaded and lacks a sort of backup plan in the way that the Mag Doom Virgil team has. So placing Doom on Anchor is betting on your point to win the point war and basically anticipating not having to play Doom. If you do have to play Doom, it's usually because you've lost the point, and you either have lost your second as well and you're playing Anchor Doom, which is never fun, or you had to DHC your second out to regain red health or for whatever other reason. So if you play Doom on second, you have many more chances to play Doom to his strengths. So the Mag Doom Virgil team doesn't really illustrate this, but let's say you're playing something like Team Milky, Mag Doom Dante. That's another point support team as opposed to point support Anchor. That team really shows off Doom's strengths because the Doom Dante shell, for one thing, Doom is a really good user of Jam Session. Doom can use it for really nasty 50-50s, he can use it for incomings, he can use it for high-low pressure, and for throw pressure. For another thing, as we've discussed at length, Doom's team hyper combo shenanigans with Dante are extremely powerful. So, playing Doom second enables you to play Doom to his strengths to a much greater extent than playing Doom third, where with Doom Anchor you're often going to be reliant on the opponent making a mistake. Now, if Marvel were played by robots, Doom Anchor would never make a comeback and SDP wouldn't be a thing. But Marvel's not played by robots. Marvel's played by people, and people make mistakes. All it takes is one errant movement, one missed plank for you to throw them or get a foot dive, and then Doom can convert any hit like that into a kill. So I don't mean to give you the impression that Doom is a poor anchor. In my opinion, he's one of the best anchors in the game. He just doesn't have the sort of guaranteed 50-50 nonsense that someone like a Virgil or a Phoenix does. So he's like an A-tier anchor instead of an S-tier anchor. Don't let that scare you away from playing point support, as point support teams can be extremely powerful, especially in the variety of, as we discussed a moment ago, where Doom can raw tag in and then use the character on second for team hyper shenanigans or DHC shenanigans. So all that being said, placing Doom second tends to be done more often with point support anchor shells, but it can be done with point support if you really want to lean into your Doom. Placing Doom third is the more common alignment for point support team, in my opinion, just because Doom's support is so strong, it's often stronger to have that for the secondary character than the primary. Or rather, than to have the secondary character supporting Doom. So for example, if I was playing the Mag Dorm Doom team as Mag Doom Dorm, not only would I miss out on all of the Dormammu set play and stalking player shenanigans, I'd also miss out on Doom's support for Dorm, and that's an incredibly powerful factor that you can't sleep on. All those same factors, the raw tags, the TACs, and the assists apply to your second character just as much as your first if you're playing Doom on Angular. Alright, so who makes a good partner for Dr. Doom? There's a variety of factors. One of the most important ones is lateral control. So Doom can find it a bit difficult to approach due to his lack of grounded flanks. If he's at full screen and the opponent is zoning you out effectively, it can be very difficult if you don't have an assist to help close the gap. So lateral assists to countercall the opponent like Disruptor are very strong. Bolts of Balthak is also probably Doom's best assist for this purpose. Another very strong assist, though less as a countercall and more as an approach tool, is Arthur Daggers. Doom really likes slow assists like Daggers because they enable him to approach at his own speed and then start his grab shenanigan game easily. Additionally, other additional assists that are very strong for this purpose are Spitfire, Sentinel Drones, and to a lesser extent, Cold Star. Cold Star is more of like a close-up lockdown assist, but it is very strong for Dr. Doom, and you shouldn't be afraid to play it. Doom Ami is a strong shell for a reason. Other strong assists for Dr. Doom would be definitely Jam Session is worth a mention. Doom is one of the best users of Jam in the entire game. Meaty Jam plus H Foot Dive is an incredibly ambiguous and powerful and safe incoming that you just can't sleep on. Additionally, he uses Rapid Slash incredibly well. He's very good at protecting Rapid Slash. You can throw out Rapid Slash and Butter Gun and then confirm even from full screen. He uses most of the top tier assists really well. He uses assists that wall bounce really well, so like Log Trap and Rising Fang are both really good for him. Yeah, Doom uses most assists once you know how to use them. Basically, the only assists he can't use are assists that are very difficult and character specific. Like I even saw a Doom extension with Get 'em Missile from Phoenix Wright. Like he can use them all. That said, he really does have a preference, in my opinion, for slow, lingering assists with a lot of hit and block stun that can enable him to start his grab game. So stuff like Arthur Daggers, Spitfire, Bolts of Balthak, Sentinel Drones, and to a lesser extent even like Dark Hole are all very powerful for him. So yeah, if it's meaty, Doom likes it. Another aspect when selecting strong partners for Dr. Doom is Team Hyper Combo or Follow My Lead. So let's say the opponent's at mid to full screen, they're being annoying, they're zoning you out, and you just can't seem to approach. Well, as long as your movement's good enough and you have 2 meters, you basically have a free skip neutral now button in Follow My Lead with proper partners and team composition. So Rocket Raccoon is really strong for this purpose, Dante is really strong for this purpose, Amaterasu is probably like the most typical example. And the really cool thing is that if you have a properly optimized combo afterward, you can often just build back to 2 bars. And then you're getting a kill off the hit that you just spent 2 bars to get anyway. So yeah, absolutely strong. I really can't stress enough the importance of Follow My Lead in Doom's neutral. It also is incredibly important in his combos. So let's say, for example, you got something like this going on. So I messed it up there because of Rocket. He's so short. You have to do it super delayed. Alright, so 422 before meter. So for context, right? Doom's time, Doom's level 3, does about 450. So yeah, that was like more damage than a level 3 for 2 meters. So I really can't stress enough, and I get a follow-up there if I have more meters. So I really can't stress enough how powerful Team Hyper Combo is with Dr. Doom, with A and B assist specifically. It's such a strong tool, and lacking that, or at least making it more awkward, is one of the things that makes Molecular Shield Assist slightly worse than the other two. Alright, so hopefully by now you're starting to understand why Doom is so valuable as a support character. But I also want to stress that he's fairly strong on point with proper support of his own. It's only with Anchored Doom that you run into these really unwinnable matchups where you're just waiting for the opponent to make a mistake because you have no chance otherwise. Mid Doom has many more chances to force things to go in his way, as long as he has a proper assist behind him, especially if he has access to a strong follow my lead. Now, with all of that said, what sort of characters want Doom behind? Well, anyone who wants a strong lateral assist can usually benefit greatly from Plasma Beam. Anyone who has trouble killing might want Doom's raw tags or TACs. And anyone who already has a strong lateral but wants lockdown or insane combos is going to benefit from missiles. Finally, if you want like a slow assist that you can approach behind, sort of like a pseudo drones, you can pick rocks. You really can't go wrong adding Doom as support to your team for all the reasons that we've discussed here today. And he also works really well with a variety of top tier supports on his own. So I really can't stress enough that a well-constructed team or rather that having Doom on your team is kind of a life hack to a well-constructed team. Having Doom in the middle or on anchor really will allow the other two characters to thrive in cool and unexpected ways, because he does synergize with literally the entire cast except with the possible exceptions of Frank West and Ryu. And I'm not sure I believe Polyak on the matter of Ryu either. So this has been a quick and dirty overview of Dr. Doom's role on a team and who some of his best partners are. Dr. Doom works really well with most of the top tier like Dante, Virgil, Morrigan, for example, or Magneto. He also works extremely well with some of the other top tier support characters such as Sentinel, Amaterasu, and Dante is probably worth a double mention here. Additionally, Doom works fairly well on Anchor, though he does rely to an extent on the opponent making a mistake. Mid is definitely his natural position and the place where he fits best. It also exploits his strength as a pivot, so one thing I didn't even touch on is that Dr. Doom has access to very safe DHCs in Photon Array. Photon Array is a great tool that a lot of characters who might not have a safe super to escape with can use to sort of pivot out. So let's say, for example, you're playing like Capcom Strange and you're hypercharging Star and the opponent blocks. Well, you kind of just have to eat that unless you have a safe DHC. And Finger Laser's DHC is perfect for that purpose. So chalk one more up for Doom. All in all, Doom is the strongest support for a reason, and hopefully by the end of this series you'll understand why. Hopefully you already do. Additionally, next time we're going to be discussing Doom's matchups and strategies. Stay tuned for that, like and subscribe, and happy Marvel. We'll see you all next time. Bye bye!